Hello everyone. I don't know if this is my first video back to YouTube or if I ended up posting the Nikki tutorials video before this. I'm not sure. It just really depends on which one ends up being more of a pain in the butt to edit. Whichever one ends up being easier to edit is probably going to go up first, because I just don't have time for much lately. But anyways, if you can tell from the title of this video, I am pregnant. I am actually currently 7 months pregnant. I'm in my 3rd trimester. I'm about to be 30 weeks. So getting pretty close to the end here. But I have been meaning to make videos about the pregnancy this entire time, but it has just been chaotic. We've moved so much in the past year, and then I've been doing college while being pregnant and having 2 jobs, well, 3 jobs, had 3 jobs pregnant in college. It's just been a lot, so I have not been able to, and then I've had a lot with the animals going on, because this is my pet channel, so there's a lot that's been going on with the animals, and I'm going to do a separate update with that. There's Jem, he's running around in the background. He's like peeked in the corner. But a lot has been going on with the animals as well, so it's just been a lot all over, so I'm late to doing this video, but I guarantee you I remember my first trimester very well. It's very vivid. It's an experience like no other. This is my first child ever, so I guarantee you I remember it all. So we're gonna get into it. This video is gonna have a lot of stuff, so you're gonna see my original first ultrasounds. You're gonna see my reveal. We did 4 different reveals to our family, and then like a couple different photos and videos I've taken along the way. I have done 2 photo shoots while being pregnant, possibly 3. I can't remember if the 3rd one I was pregnant in it or not. The first one I had no idea I was pregnant yet, but it turns out I was. So the first one I didn't know at the time that I was pregnant, but apparently I was. And then I have one where I definitely knew I was pregnant, and we actually used the photos from that photo shoot as part of my internet reveal. I had posted on Facebook using those photos. So you guys will see those photos in this video. They're really cute. They're really, really cute. And then just random stuff throughout the pregnancy. This is just my first trimester video, but there is a lot to go over because my first trimester, I think, was honestly probably my most busy one. My most eventful trimester so far has been my first trimester. I'm pretty sure that this last trimester is going to be more eventful than the first one, but we'll see. But there was a lot going on in the first trimester, so we have a lot to cover. Alright, so how did I find out I was pregnant? So I found out because we had been trying to have a baby for a while. I'm not going to say how long because I don't know who's going to watch this video, and I don't want to get people messaging me, family members being like, what, you were trying to have a baby since then? I just don't want it. So we'll just say a while. We've been trying to have a baby for a while. And so I've bought dozens and dozens of tests. I've probably taken a good 30 pregnancy tests throughout my entire relationship with my partner. I've been with my partner for 8 years, so not all of those were I'm trying to get pregnant pregnancy tests. Some of those were probably little scares here and there throughout the years. But after 8 years, we are finally having our first baby. But I actually was persistent that I was not going to take a pregnancy test when I got pregnant because there's something about so when you're trying to get pregnant for a really long time and you're taking a test every month, seeing if it's working out, seeing the test say negative when you want it to say positive for months on end, like tons of tests turning out negative, when you think you're pregnant, you're trying to get pregnant, it takes a toll, like mentally. So I actually was like, I'm not gonna get in my head this time. I'm not gonna, like, I was having all these symptoms. I'm like, no, I'm probably gonna get my period tomorrow. I'm not gonna take a test and like get my hopes up just to be sad again. Like, I didn't want to end up sad because it didn't turn out or something. And I was like, I'm not gonna take a test because I know I'm just overthinking things. There's no way I'm pregnant. I haven't been pregnant this entire time we've been trying. Nope, it's nothing. And then a week went by, and I still hadn't, and I had a little bit of a thought, but I was like, nope, you're over-exaggerating. I don't want to take another negative test. And then I woke up one morning, and I got sick, and I was like, if anyone knows me, I'm not someone that throws up. Like, that's not something that I like doing. I will try to all ends of the earth to not throw up. I cry when I puke. Like, when I throw up, I cry. I hate it so much. I don't know why I hate it so much, but I just do. So I woke up and instantly had to run to the bathroom and throw up, and I was like, this is not like me. I know I didn't eat anything out of the ordinary last night. This feels different. Like, this is not I'm sick or I ate something, throw up. Like, this feels different. I don't know how to explain how it feels different, but it's almost like it's like this involuntary, like, urge that it's not even like you don't feel good. It's just like your body's just like, you have to throw up because you have to throw up. And it was from that feeling and getting sick that morning that I walked back into the bedroom and was like, I think I'm pregnant. We have to go buy tests. And he was like, are you sure this time? And I was like, I just threw up in the bathroom and that is so not like me. We need to go buy a test. So I knew off of throwing up that morning. As soon as I threw up that morning, I was like, oh my god, I think I'm pregnant. And then we were driving to the store and I smelled French fries from one of the fast food places down the street. I think it was McDonald's. I smelled the McDonald's, and we had to pull over for me to throw up again from the smell of the McDonald's. And I was like, nope, I'm pregnant. We don't even need a test. I'm pregnant. But we did go. We got a test. Test came back positive. I had already messaged my mother at this point to buy tests because tests are expensive, dude. Let's be real. Pregnancy tests are expensive, especially when you're buying them every month trying to get pregnant. And I had messaged her to buy me some because I was like, I don't feel like having to go to the store to buy them because I felt like shit. But then we didn't wait for her to get to the house. We ended up going and getting one ourselves. So we already knew we were pregnant, but I was like, let's pretend like we don't know. And surprise my mom when she comes over with her tests.
Come look. I'm gonna let you show him first, and then you can show me because I'm gonna record.
Christmas is the time of year to remember how much we mean to each other. Thank you for reminding us.
So confusing.
No, I don't.
Now you come over here. Honey, would you like to give me the one we already took? You already had one? You sneak! We couldn't wait. I'm gonna have another grandbaby!
So that was the video of us surprising my mother by having already known and letting her come over and find out. At this point, we started to do the math. By the way, when I say we were trying for a while, and I wasn't sure if there was something that was contributing to us not getting pregnant. So I actually had a fertility appointment the next morning. When I found out I was pregnant, I had an appointment with a fertility specialist the next morning to find out why I wasn't getting pregnant. And I had just found out that I am indeed pregnant. So I still went to the appointment, just because the doctor would know better than I would know how far along I am. I was like, I have no idea how long I've been pregnant, because when you first get pregnant, you don't necessarily have symptoms. You don't necessarily know you're pregnant. It takes a little while for your body to build up the hormones that cause you to have the symptoms. So I had no idea, well, how far along am I? So I still went to the specialist the next morning, and I was, I believe, 8 weeks along. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was 8 weeks. So the specialist actually works for the same umbrella company that the OBGYN I go to does as well. So she could type into her computer for my appointment over there. So we scheduled my appointment through her, and then I went to my first ultrasound. So that is my first ultrasound picture. So my first ultrasound, they used, it was funny because my partner had no idea that they did this. He was expecting an over the belly ultrasound. I was too. I didn't know that that's not the case for the first one. Sometimes it depends on how far along you are, but when you are only 8 weeks like I was, they actually use a internal ultrasound. I was not prepared for that, but they checked it over. They confirmed that I was indeed pregnant. They confirmed that what they were seeing on the screen did in fact show an 8-week pregnancy. And in the beginning, you go to the ultrasound person, well, not the ultrasound person, you go to the appointment every 4 weeks, so it's like once a month. So at the first appointment, we talked about like just the beginning type stuff, like how are you feeling? I was extremely nauseous. I could not hold anything down. As soon as the first day that I threw up till my second trimester, that entire time I was throwing up 6 to 10 times a day, at least 5 times. Without medication, I would be throwing up at least 5 times, but anywhere up to 10. Something, I think my most awful day I did like 12. But I could not hold anything down. Water made me throw up. Water. You know, the thing that we need to like live. Like, yeah, I couldn't even hold down water. So they first tell you to take vitamin B6 every 3 hours. Take vitamin B6. Ginger ale, anything ginger, lemon, sometimes mint. They want you to try and curb the nausea with more natural ways before they'll actually give you any medication for it. So I had to tough out the whole puking 10 times a day thing for at least the first 2 months before they actually ended up giving me like an actual medication for it so that I would puke less. And then even with the anti-nausea medicine, like the actual medication, I still ended up throwing up probably around 3 times a day. And that's with medication. So like, I was beyond nauseous in my first trimester. That was pretty much my only symptom. I didn't really have any other symptoms. It was just extreme nausea. Nothing else bothered me. You are at more risk of having a miscarriage until you get to your second trimester. And I was only 8 weeks into my first trimester when I found out. Now, I wanted to wait until, I think it was January, which would be when I start my second trimester, to tell anyone else other than my mother, because I didn't want to have to explain to the entire family that I had a miscarriage. It's a very hard thing to go through, and I figured it would be way more difficult to explain that I went through a miscarriage to 100 people versus just 1. So I wanted to wait, but Christmas was coming around the corner, so we did end up telling the rest of everyone for Christmas. My family did Christmas the day before, and then Dylan's family found out the day of Christmas. Okay, so the first you're going to see us showing it to my family, and I decided to show my family by doing little arts and crafts projects, because that is just me in a nutshell. I love doing art, anything. the hell is the dog doing? So I decided to paint wine glasses because I actually worked at a winery for 3 years, I want to say. I've been bartending for almost 4 years now, but I think I've worked at the winery for 3 years, and I am like a wine enthusiast. I like wine. So getting a gift in a wine bag was not anything out of the ordinary to come from me. So when I would pass out these wine bags, everybody would think, okay, it's just for drink. Plus, it then gave me the excuse of why there was only gifts for the adults this year, because I was not going to do a surprise for the children about me being pregnant. Like, it was more just for my aunts and uncles and my grandmother and everybody. So I just got enough for all of the adults, and it gave me the perfect excuse for why it was only for the adults, and why they all had to open it together, because if it's a wine bottle, you all got the same bottle, so I'm just gonna have you open it together, right? So I got wine glasses, and I painted them camo with blue and pink, because we didn't know what the baby was, if it was a girl or a boy. So the glass part was camo and had blue, and then on the bottom it said in pink writing, baby 2022. So baby 2022 on the rim of the bottom of the glass in pink writing. And so that is what I used to surprise my family.
It's awfully strange.
They are all like in grade glasses, like your douches.
It's COVID. It's COVID. She was all COVID.
Oh,
Good for
nice.
test strips.
Jane actually painted these.
Okay, alright. Oh, Jesus.
There we go.
Look at there we go.
Congratulations.
Look at let them eat it.
Wait for the.
Wait for mom and dad. Oh my goodness.
Does the pink mean it's a girl? Does the pink mean it's, you know, it's a girl already, or is just
We don't want to know until it's born. That's so we're going all the way. Yeah.
Make sure you tell them that. Because
Yeah.
they will slip up and say you gotta be a month as soon as you're walking off.
They say all.
They are all like in grade glasses, like your douches.
It's COVID. It's COVID.
Jane actually painted these.
Okay, alright. Oh, Jesus.
There we go.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Look at, let them eat it.
Wait for the.
Wait for mom and dad. Oh my goodness.
Does the pink mean it's a girl?
I'd like to say I knew all along.
Make sure you tell them that, because they will slip up and say you gotta be a month as soon as you're walking off. Because with my boys, they're like,
Oh my God! Yay! Merry Christmas!
and I can't drink out of it.
Then for Dylan's family, we did something different. We did whatever his idea was, because I do think that a lot of the time the dads, when it comes to the pregnancy part, get a little lost in it. Like, I feel like everything gets accredited to the girl because she's pregnant, and I know it's a lot on women to be pregnant. But I do feel like a lot of the times the men are a little forgotten in the whole journey. So I wanted to make sure that he got to surprise his family in the way that he wanted, and he wanted to do like a surprise box of different like baby items. So we got I tasked my mother with finding some boxes, because I was like, where do I go for artistic boxes? So she got these really cute little boxes for us, and we went to the store and we got like binkies and little tiny things like a bib to put in the boxes to like show that I'm pregnant. And then we attempted to do everybody all at once, but it ended up being 2 different videos because one of his grandmothers ended up coming a little bit later than everybody else did, so it was like 2 surprises in one day.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. Wait, are you pregnant now?
Read the bottom of your glass. The bottom of your glass. So, Dad, to answer your question on why I'm such a rush to get back to Tennessee, that would be why.
That's funny.
Oh, I really support Dylan.
Great grandma.
I thought it was because she was eating. I was like, we all know she's sloppy.
Because you needed it for dinner.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, that's how everybody found out. There was a little bit of bloopers and things. And now I'm just going to show you guys all of the photos I've taken during my pregnancy. We're going to start out with my photo shoot where I knew I was pregnant, and the photos that I specifically used to announce to the rest of the family that wasn't there, you know, like extended family, cousins, great aunts, great uncles, great grandparents, anybody that would be on Facebook that wouldn't necessarily live in the same state as me, because my family is very, very spread out. And Dylan's family is pretty spread out too. Like, he has family in Tennessee and Louisiana and Texas, and like I have family in North Carolina, New Jersey. Like, there was plenty of people that were gonna be there for the original Christmas surprise. So I used these photos on Facebook and shared it to the rest of the family that I was indeed pregnant.
Alright, so this is the photos that I used to announce my pregnancy on Facebook as well as Instagram for my family, those two. And then following that, the rest of these photos are just other photos from that same photo shoot. It was two different photographers, and I have them linked on my Instagram, and my Instagram is in the description if you want to find out who the photographers were for credit. But again, these are just the rest of the photos from the photo shoot. Some of them are edited, some of them aren't, and it was two different editing styles, which I think is really, really cool. But yeah, the first two photos were for the reveal, and then everything else was just for fun. I really like that photo because you can see my Pac-Man tattoos really, really well, and that one's really pretty as well. I like, honestly, all of them. They're all really, really cool looking, especially like the different effects and everything. And then in a minute you're gonna see me laying on a giant block of ice, and it was freezing. Like, freezing cold, but anything for the pictures, you know? Anything for the art. But it was so cold laying on that block of ice. I love this dress also. It's a very, very stretchy dress. I've had it my entire pregnancy and it still fits me, and it's super comfy, so I just wear it around the house. And the boots were actually boots that I got from a thrift store for like $5. And again, this freezing cold photo, and the makeup, oh, so good.
Also, the hardest thing, honestly, in the first trimester for me is like, you have to go those 4 weeks without an appointment and like not hearing the heartbeat, not seeing the baby once a week to know that they're okay. It made me very, very anxious, and I'm so happy that now I'm finally at the point where I get an appointment every 2 weeks, and then eventually it'll be every week. But those 4-week intervals suck. I hate them. But yeah, these are going to be the rest of the photos and videos that I've gotten throughout my pregnancy, and I hope you guys enjoy. And I will see you guys in my next video, most likely about my second trimester.
Dylan's first job was me being pregnant. Because the dog... Because the dog food makes me puke from the smell. So he has to cut it for me. No. Ugh, it smells so awful. I know, I'm putting it on the ground. It can't be on me.
The dog?
No, the food. So this is just some photos from his first job as dad feeding the dogs. And there's Gizmo. And then just some more pictures of him feeding the dogs. And that's my plants in the kitchen. I had just watered them. That is me on the way to that photo shoot you guys just saw earlier. And then here is my first bump pics from the beginning when I just found out I was pregnant. There's like barely anything, but it's nice to compare how it goes further along. Still not really much of a bump in that one, but I started to pack on some weight. And then here we have a little bit more of a bump. And then this is little guy or girl, and you can see his legs or her legs. And then Jasper cuddled me a ton during this pregnancy. He became the nicest kitty in the world. When we first adopted Jasper, he hated humans. Like, he attacked me viciously, but he's so nice now that I'm pregnant. Salmon is really, really good in pregnancy. The omega-3 is great for brain development for the baby, so I wanted to include that. And then here's some art that I worked on while I was pregnant, because I continued through college, so an important part of my first trimester was my schoolwork. We took a trip to Ocean City during my first trimester, and here's Jemmers in the car on the way there. He really, really loved it. It was really relaxing, and it was great to get away and focus on us after finding out that I was pregnant and just bonding together. And his paw prints on the beach, Gem 2022, and then some photos of me.